I want to talk with you about the pros and cons of a low inventory market in real estate. In a very low inventory market, okay, as far as the pros, they're mainly for the sellers. The cons are more or less for the buyers.
Correct.
Okay, and here's a couple of things that you should think about if you are a seller, okay? With no competition on the market right now, which puts you in the driver's seat as the seller, okay? So put it this way. In Rhode Island right now, we have 2,086 active homes on the market, okay? That number should be closer to 7,000, if not 7,500, all right? We also have our absorption rate is about 2.5 to 3 months. So basically, if every home that was listed sold in the next 2.5 to 3 months, there'd be nothing else to sell.
Be out of homes.
You'd be out of homes, right? So that's pretty unbelievable. And anytime you have less than it's a 4-month inventory, I read in some places, and 5-month in other places, that would be a seller's market. Number one, buyers are a lot less picky on the finishes of a property, right? So they're coming in, and if there's no other competition, if you have none of your neighbors on the market in your neighborhood, they're not worrying about the granite countertops as much as they would if, say, your neighbor was on the market and had granite countertops in the kitchen, in the bathrooms, stainless steel appliances. So those finishes are really not impacting your home as much as they once did. One other thing I would like to mention as far as a pro for the market before we get into the cons, for the sellers, a pro would be if you do your due diligence and disclose everything up front about your property, whether you do a pre-list home inspection or you know a contractor that helps you out and goes in. I would always suggest a pre-list home inspection with a reputable home inspector. If you have septic, if you have a well, if you have, make sure they check the structural of the house, make sure they do a pest radon, the whole nine. If you can give a buyer everything up front and disclose everything, once the buyers sign the disclosures, they have acknowledged that those items are there and that they are paying for the house the way it is, right?
I totally agree that proactive measure, whatever defects or problems that are there, they're going to be found out. So it's better that your inspector finds it than the buyers, because that can shake their confidence in the home. So I think that's a great idea.
And you know what? There's nothing that'll halt a transaction more than a horrible inspection report after the fact. As a buyer, you're going in there and you're having a hard time finding a home because there's just not enough out there, especially when you're under $500,000 in the Rhode Island market. But as a buyer, a couple of things for you. Just make sure you do all of your due diligence up front. Get pre-approved for the mortgage. Make sure you have a realtor that is not just putting you on automatic alerts. Make sure you have somebody that's very proactive and somebody that lists a lot of properties. Because that person, not only do they know what they have coming on the market, but they're going to know what the other agents in the area might have coming around the market too.